List manipulation. Welcome you all. Let's see how do we manipulate list. So manipulation of list can be done through append function, through del function. Append function appends the element to a list at the end of the list. Like for example, if we take this function append, we have list 1 to 3, list dot append 6. So we had the list 1, 2, 3 before. When we appended the value 6, the 6 was added at the end of the list. So append is a function which appends the element at the end of the list. Now if you want to update a value to a list, then what we will do, we will just write the name of the list, the index and the new value what is to be written. Since lists are mutable, so item initialization or item definition is possible in this. The value can be changed. So we had 1, 2, 3. So at one position we had 2, but now it is replaced by 4. We can delete the item in two ways. The first one is by specifying the index and the second one is by specifying the slice. When we are specifying the index, like for example, we have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and we are writing del list 5. This 5 is not the element. This is the index position of the element. So which is the fifth index position? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 will be deleted from this list. Okay. Now I am specifying the slice, means from index element 5 to index element 7 the list should be deleted. So you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from 5 to 7 it is deleted. So 6, 7, 8 is not present in the new list. We can also delete the whole list at once by writing del and the name of the list. And we will get the error after we print, because before deleting, if we are printing, we are getting the list, but after del list, if we print the list, we give the error name list is not defined because we have deleted it. Now there is also a provision to make a true copy of a list, because when we assign a list, what happens is the list is one, two variables are pointing to the same list. But if we want a true copy of the list, we need to use this method, that is true copy method. The true copy can be made by mentioning the word list with a small l and within the argument the name of the list whose the true copy is to be made. So list 2 equals to list 1. So when we print this, we get two lists with the identical elements. Now let's talk about list functions and methods. The very first function or method is a index method. It returns the first matched item in the list. Like for example, we have list which contains the element 12, 14, 15, 17, 14 and 18, and I want to search the index of element 14. So you can see there are two 14 elements in this list. So it will return the index of the first occurrence. So when I get the output, I get index 1. Though 14 is present at index 1 and index 4. But I get the answer 1. So first matched items index. If item is not in the list, like 21 is not in the list, you will get the error, that is 21 is not in the list. Now the second function is your append function. Now what does append do? Now append adds the element what we have already discussed at the end of the list. So we have 12, 14, 15, 17. When I append 18, 18 is added to the last. Next function is extend function. Extend function adds multiple items to the end of the list. Append adds only one, but here multiple items are added. So this is just an example of plus, like we used to add two lists. In the same way, we can use extend function for adding two lists. So if I have list 1 and list 2, I will print the list 1 before using extend, and then I extend list 2 to list 1. So list 1 will increase. Okay. Now let's see. So list 1 before extend and list 2 after extend. So whatever we write at the left of extend, new list will be extended to that list. Okay. Next one is your insert method. Insert method inserts item at the given position. So you have to mention the index as well as the element that is to be inserted. So here I have a list and I have inserted 200 at the second index position. So when I print, I get 200 at the second index position. So for insert, you need to mention the index position as well as the value that is to be inserted. Now next method is the pop method. It removes the item from the given position if we mention the index, and if we do not mention the index, it will remove the last element. So here I have not mentioned the index, so it removes 17, and when I mention the index position, that is second index position, it will be removing 15 from this list. Now remove function removes the first occurrence of the given item. Like for example, I have 15 twice here. So when I use 15 list1 dot remove 15, I will get the new list which will have 15 removed from the first occurrence. Not all the 15s are removed from the list. Okay. Clear method removes all the items from the list. So I have to write list dot clear, and when I print the list, all the items are removed. Now list 1 is empty. Count method function returns the count of the item passed as argument. So if I write 14 here, list1 dot count 14, it will return me the number of times the 14 has occurred. So twice. So if I increase this 14, 14, the answer will be 4. List1 dot count 18 will give you 0. If the element is not present in the list and you use list1 dot count, you will get the answer 0. Reverse method. This function reverses the item of the list. So if I have list 1 as 12, 14, 15, 14, 17, I'll get the output as 17, 14, 15, 14 and 12. Okay, so this sort method sorts the list. So if I have this list, it sorts in ascending order by default. But if you want the sorting to be done in descending order, we need to mention list1 dot sort reverse equals to true. So this is the sorting. Before was, now this is the number sorting. So number sorting everybody knows in ascending order, but when it comes to string sorting, many people will confuse how the string sorting is done. So it is done in lexicographical manner, as it is done in your dictionary. Like we have G before N, so name having a letter G will occur first. So if you have two names starting from the same alphabet, the second position character is weight. Like in Raghav and Raman, the first R is matching, second AA is matching, the third is not matching, G and M. So G occurs before M, so Raghav name will come before Raman. Now if you want to do sorting in descending order, you need to write list1 dot sort reverse equals to true. So I'll just run and you can see that here Gautam, Neha, Purvi, Raghav, Raman. When it was ascending order, descending it is Raman, Raghav, Purvi, Neha and Gautam. Now let's see how to create a user generated list. So for that, if the question is you need to create a list with 5 elements which contains the name of the students. So you know that how many elements are to be included. So when we have this data, we can just have an empty list first, and then we will have a for loop that will be repeated 5 times. So for that, I will just write for I in range 5. This will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 numbers are generated, so 5 times this loop will be repeated. Now I will just ask the user to enter the name of student, okay, and then I will append this name to the list. So L dot append, and then in bracket I will just write name. Now I will come out of the loop because these 2 lines are to be repeated 5 times, and after repetition I want the new list to be printed. So I will just write print in bracket. I will write list with students name are, okay, so comma L. So L contains the list. So if I input the first name Anshu, Summer, Nisha, the moment you enter the 5th element, you will get the output. But at times, we don't know how many elements are to be added. So that time, what code should be written? When we don't know that how many elements are to be added. So you will have certain question like add the number of students till X is entered. For this you will have same kind of program, but instead of for you will be writing while loop. So you'll just write while one. While one will have a endless loop because we don't know that how many times the loop is to be repeated. So I will write while one. Name, enter the name of the student. Now before appending we have to check the name of the student. Name equal to capital X. So if the name is X, that means you have to come out of the loop. So you will just write break. If it is not, then you will write else append. So if the name is X, then you will break. Let's run and see this. So I have written Summer, Neha, Akriti, X. Okay. So the moment you enter X, you will have exit of the loop. Now there can be one more question like you have to maintain a list of numbers. Okay, so list of numbers. Now how will you check whether entered elements are your number? So for that again you have to do while one and input the number. Now you need to check for num. So num dot is digit. So if it is digit, then you need to append. Else what you will do? Else you will write that print, enter the valid number. And the other thing was that this will be having a continuous loop, right? Now if how will you break this? Now for breaking there has to be thing that you will enter X again. So again you will check for this also. So here we'll have what happen if then okay, otherwise we will have else. Have you understood? So first you will enter the number, then you will check the number. If it is X, then you will break. Otherwise you will check it is digit, then it will add, not, then it will print enter valid number. Am I right? 34, 67 and Y. So valid number. So 89. Then I write X and loop is exited and these numbers are added onto it.